Hey guys, so I got quite a bit of records from the 1960s that I want to go and show you in this video. So I decided that I was going to go and sport my Beatles shirt for this video. So let's get started with this video. The very first album I have to show you is Donovan's Sunshine Superman. Now this particular album puts me in a really good mood whenever I listen to it. I love Donovan all around. The Doors 13 compilation with all of the Doors hits. The Hurdy-Gurdy Man, Donovan. The Doors, self-titled album. Donovan, Like It Is, Was, and Evermore Shall Be. Now, I just want to go and photocopy this album and hang it up on my wall because it's so pretty. I love all the colors. Nina Simone, Forbidden Fruit. What a voice this woman has. What a voice. Odetta and the Blues. Another great artist with a great voice. Odetta sings folk songs. Odetta, It's a Mighty World. The Ohio Express. Beg, Borrow, and Steal. Out of Our Heads, the Rolling Stones. Flowers by the Rolling Stones. Pete Seeger's Story Songs. An album that everybody should have in their 1960s collection. This is the Jimi Hendrix Experience. Are You Experienced? Steppenwolf, Monster. Insect Peppermint, the Strawberry Alarm Clock. Steppenwolf, At Your Birthday Party. Steppenwolf II. Nina Simone Sings the Blues. Vanilla Fudge, Near the Beginning. Simon & Garfunkel, Bookend. My personal favorite Simon & Garfunkel album. Music from the original soundtrack and more, Woodstock. Really super cool to have this. I got this from my dad. Ian and Sylvia, Early Morning Rain. This is a Canadian folk duo. Really good album. I listened to it once. Loved it. More of the Monkees. Now, I also have a box set from the Monkees, but I felt too lazy to go and take it out. But it has a lot of their albums from the 60s. The Monkees, Summer of Love. This is just a compilation of their psychedelic hits. And I wish this particular album would have featured Daily Nightly, because I think it's a very psychedelic song. You guys should go and listen to it. Next, we got Simon & Garfunkel's self-titled album. The Days of Future Past, the Moody Blues with the London Festival Orchestra, conducted by Peter Knight, Knights in White Satin. The Monkees, live, 1967. Selections from the Headquarters section. Monkees Head Alternatives. And actually, now I think about this, I believe this album came out in the 70s, but they are technically still a band from the 60s, so that's why I'm featuring it. The Byrds, the Bees, and the Monkees. Frank Sinatra, September of My Years. Gotta have some old Blue Eyes in your collection. Wednesday Morning, 3 a.m., Simon & Garfunkel. Herb Alpert, Tijuana Brass. Whipped Cream and Utter Delights. Frank Sinatra, Strangers in the Night. That's my attempt at singing this song. But this is a great album. More Chad and Jeremy. Heavy Hits. This is a compilation of 60s hits. The Best of Hermits, Volume 2. Their second album, Hermit on Tour. Super cool to have this in my collection. The Best of Hermits. Hermits. There's a Kind of Hush All Over the World. Includes No Milk Today, East West Dandy. Another compilation. Protocol Harem's self-titled album. Simon and Garfunkel, Parsley, Sage, Rosemary, and Thyme. The Graduate. Songs by Paul Simon, performed by Simon and Garfunkel. If you guys have not seen this movie, you've got to at least see this movie once in your life. It's a very interesting movie. Dustin Hoffman did a great job in this movie. You got Anne Bancroft in this movie as well. Now, next album we have is Simon and Garfunkel, Bridge Over Troubled Waters. As you can tell, this album itself is falling apart, so I'm going to have to go and try to acquire a better copy of this album. But other than that, I love Bridge Over Troubled Waters. Simon and Garfunkel, Sound of Silence. Another album that you should have for your 1960s collection. And this is, if you can believe your eyes and ears, the Mamas and the Papas. Monday is a great song. California Dreaming. Do You Want to Dance? Go Where You Want to Go. Somebody Groovy. There's just so many great hits on here and so many great songs. Next, we've got the Hollies. And this is their greatest hits album. Bus Stop is my personal favorite of theirs. The Beach Boys Christmas album. Little Saint Nick is on here. Aretha Franklin, I Never Loved a Man the Way I Loved You. Arlo Guthrie, Alice's Restaurant. And it is true, guys. You can get anything you want at Alice's Restaurant. And in fact, guys, there is a restaurant in Massachusetts that is named after the movie. It is called Alice's Restaurant. And if you have not seen this movie, you should go and check it out. It is quite the quirky movie. It's kind of like a movie that you watch and you're kind of thinking to yourself, what did I watch? And then you're like, Well, that's how I felt when I watched the movie. Frank Sinatra, Greatest Hits, Volume 2. In fact, I liked Alice's Restaurant that I ended up watching it again. Andy Williams, Dear Heart. I got quite a bit of Andy Williams, but I just wanted to show you a few of the Andy Williams that I had in my collection. This is Andy Williams' Happy Heart. Andy Williams' Greatest Hits. Now, Andy Williams had a TV show in the 60s, and it ran for, I believe, 10 or 11 years. It was quite a long-running show. And here's Andy Williams, the Academy Award-winning Call Me Irresponsible and other hit songs from the movie. Hugo Montenegro. And this is one of those Time record compilations. The Youngbloods. The Byrds. Mr. Tambourine, Churn Churn. Another artist that you should have in your 60s collection. The Byrds' Greatest Hits. Of course, the Beatles. Everybody's got to have the Beatles. This is the Beatles 1962 to 1966. I also have the Blue Album, which is really neat. Fifth Dimension, the Byrds. Meet the Beatles. Magical Mystery Tour, the Beatles. The Beatles 65. The Beatles' second album. I need to get a better copy of this album. As you can see, it's got a lot of water damage in the back. This is my dad's copy. The Beach Boys. Fun, Fun, Fun. The Beach Boys' Pet Sounds. Another album that everybody should have in their 60s collection, but I know that some people consider this album to be overrated. I, however, quite enjoyed this album, and I was lucky enough to see Brian Wilson do this particular album in concert in 2017. He performed the entire Pet Sounds album, and it was awesome. And I have a poster in the back of my video from that concert. Next, we got the Association's Greatest Hits. The Early Animals with Eric Borden. What a voice this guy has. And I still need to get an album with The House of the Rising Sun. Inside Out, The Association, Windy. The Animals, Looking Inside Out. And this one's an orange vinyl Taiwan press. Super cool. The Animals, their third and biggest set yet. This is Animal Tracks. Bob Dylan, John Wesley Harding. Bob Dylan's Greatest Hits, Volume 2. Joe Cocker. And you know, Joe Cocker does really great covers. I love She Came In Through the Bathroom Window. Also that other cover that he does for the Wonder Years, I Get By With a Little Help from My Friends. That's really good. Cream, Disraeli Gears. Love this album cover. It is beautiful. By far my favorite album cover from the 60s. Next we got some Deep Purple. This is Shades of Deep Purple. Donovan in Concert. Donovan P. Leach. Catch the Wind, Donovan. And Donovan's Greatest Hits. And that is my 1960s record collection. I've been collecting 1960s records for quite a bit of time. And I acquired my dad's collection in 2003, so I've had a bunch of 1960s records since 2003. And I started rebuying records in 2014, so I've been collecting for quite a bit of time. So thanks for watching this video. Bye guys. Peace.